Hi everyone, welcome back to the crochet, and today I'll be going through how to crochet Treecko. So to start off, there are actually two sections for the head. So for one section of the head, I actually did 6 single crochets in magic ring for a start, and I increased 3 stitches for every 2 rounds until 27 stitches to get this cone shape. So I have gone ahead to do 2 of them, and I will actually join them directly without fastening off the second section. So I will join it with 4 slip stitches. After I yarn over, I will go through both of the head sections, and after I have done 4 slip stitches, I will continue with single crochet throughout each of the stitches. Remember, the right side of the crochet is always facing inwards towards you. Go to the left section first, then to the right section. So this is what you will get at the end after you have single crocheted 1 round around these 2 sections. You can feel free to pause and continue with the pattern over here. If not, you can just continue watching how this Treecko is actually done. So afterwards, I actually did the color changes here in round 21. So you can see that one color change rule was already done when I shot this footage. So I'll just show how to do the color change for one of the rows, and you can apply the same technique for the rest of the rows. So this is how I did it. I didn't really want a separate belly for the color changes, but I wanted to use the same layer to create the belly, which is of a different shade. That's why I use color changes instead of creating a separate piece to sew it on. So I tried my best to follow the contour of the body to create the neck and the body section with the color changes. And this is how I achieved this. At the end of the body, this is where we start to do our decrease rows. I have stopped doing color changes to the maroon section over here, which is the end of the belly, and I will just fully use the green to close off the body. So the next thing that I have to do is actually to make the snout, which I think you would have realized that was missing in my Treecko head and body section. So the snout, I actually did it separately. I used the normal sphere formula to create the circle, and I increased the length of this snout, interweaving it with single crochet rounds throughout. this is the shape, the final shape that I got, and I pinned it down and sewed it on. So for the tail, this is the most tricky part because there is a bend at the end. So to start off, I did a chain of 15 stitches and I did 5 rounds of single crochet, and this all is to increase the length of the tail to the point where I want to increase and create the little contour where it goes bigger and smaller, which is actually this portion, which I have actually not recorded because I was really playing around with the stitches, trying to see how I can do the tail contour such that it looks the most realistic. But at the tail bend section, this is the part where I did 3 increases on one side where I want it to bend and bend towards me actually. So if I do increase stitches, it will bend towards me, and if I do decrease stitches, it will bend outwards. So I did 3 decrease stitches on one side, 3 increase and single crochet stitches on the other side. So this in all will give you the total number of stitches for the round to be the same still, but you will create that bend which will look a bit weird for now, but it will all turn out okay in the end. So this looks something like this after the 4 weird rounds that I mentioned on the increased stitches and the decreased stitches, and afterwards I just close it off with the normal sphere method to decrease 6 stitches for each round, and at the bend I actually sewed down the end of the tail down to the bottom of the bend, and that creates the nice bend that I was looking for. So for the tail sections, I actually did the 2 sections separately, so you can realize that this is only one section. You have to repeat this 2 times, so you will have another section that looks exactly the same. And how I joined it together again is through single crochets, because I really don't like sewing. So I did slip stitches to join the section in the middle. I think I used only 3 stitches to join these 2 sections together, and I used single crochet for the rest of the stitches all around the tail. And afterwards I increased it normally by increasing 6 stitches for each round to create the circle base of the tail. This is how it looks like on the body of Treecko. And afterwards, the finishing touches is actually to join these two sections together by doing double knots at the top and the middle of these two sections such that it won't come off easily. So in this case it will stick together and it will look like two separate sections as well when you see it. So afterwards I pinned it down and I sewed it onto the Treecko body. So for the next one, it is the feet of Treecko. So I did a cone shape as well, which I didn't do the recording of, but you can definitely replicate this easily by just increasing 3 stitches for every 2 rounds until 15 stitches. Afterwards I actually split into 3 sections of 5 stitches and increased 3 stitches each round for 2 rounds, decrease 2 stitches each round for 2 rounds. Then I finally fastened off and joined it all together, and you'll get a toe that looks something like this, which is like a bauble. Yeah, so this is how it looks like with 2 toes, and I actually didn't take the footage of the one with 3 toes, but you will definitely see it in the end. So afterwards I did the stem of the leg, which is the length of it. So I started off with 9 chains, decreased to 6 stitches, and I increased the length with the 6 stitches per round all the way until I get the length of the leg that I want, and I increased another 3 stitches and another 2 rounds of single crochet to create a nice join for the feet. And after I sewed it on, it looks something like this. So next is the arms. So for the arms, it's quite straightforward. I just did 6 single crochets in the magic ring, and I increased the length of the arm length until the length that I wanted, which was about 16 rounds of this single crochet. Then I created a palm by increasing 6 stitches to make 12 stitches, and I used this bobble stitch by folding the palm into half, and I did the bobble stitch through both stitches from this end to the other end of the hem. So I alternated the bobble stitch and the slip stitch, which is essentially just 5 double crochets in one. So it looks something like this in the end, the arm, and I sewed it down, and it looks something like this in the end. So we are almost done, and we are only left with the felting of the eyes. And to be honest, this is my first time felting eyes on crochet items, but I really wanted to try it, so I hope this turns out well. If not, I would definitely have to redo the whole Treecko from the start again. I drew out the outline like this with a permanent marker, but I think I should have used dark green or something that is more similar to the color of the body. And afterwards I did the pupils first. which looks something like this. And I slowly added on the yellow and the white highlight, and I got something like this in the end, which I was really satisfied with because it looked exactly like what Treecko's eyes would look like. So this is the final product. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more crochet videos. Bye!